Hello and welcome to another edition of Your Springfield Art Show. My name is Christina Steelman and I'm with the Springfield Area Arts Council. And I'm happy today to be with Joshua Foster, who is here representing the Revolution's You. Joshua, how are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Good. So nice to have you here today. You have a great festival coming up called the Revolution Art and Music Festival in its second year of existence. How did this festival come to be?
Well, we started. Well, I was shot in November 2006 in attempted robbery, and the gentleman that shot me found out over time that at a young age of 12 or 13 he started using drugs and alcohol. And instead of being angry at him, I started thinking, what could have changed and been different in his life? What could have happened? Was it maybe music or basketball, or what could have changed his life and led him somewhere different than being in jail and in drugs and alcohol? And in doing so, I was at Harvard Park's elementary school's winter festival, winter musical, and I started really getting moved by the kids and almost brought the tears just thinking, which of those kids up there statistically would be the ones that would be using drugs and alcohol or dead or in jail. And I started thinking, what could I do to maybe help those kids not end up the same place? And started kind of kicking around ideas in my head and talking to a couple other people. And I was like, what about a big music and art festival? Not every kid is into sports, and just like not every kid's into music and arts, but the ones that could be, it gives them a chance to see different music and different styles of art.
Sure. Did that make a difference in your life as you were growing up?
Yes. I never was an artist or musician, but I was always listening to music and always going to see bands and always having friends in bands. And I'd take art classes, but never where I'd consider myself an artist, just something I enjoyed doing.
Sure. Well, even making that kind of connection, I think, is important. So often I talk with people, who say, well, I'm not artistic or I'm not cultural, and, I'm not into the arts. You don't listen to music.
Right.
And certainly they do, and they realize, oh, that's, that is the arts, even if it's country western or rock and roll, any type of form. And we all participate in that, but we can't always make those connections. And it intrigues me to no end that you were able to take that horrifying experience and turn it into something so positive for other people. So you started this festival. What's the purpose of the festival?
The purpose of the festival is several things. We have it at local elementary schools. Last year was Harvard Park, and this year it's Feitchen's Academy. All the money that's raised from the festival is donated right to the school, to the music and art departments. Elizabeth Bloomer, who's the art teacher at Harvard Park, last year her art budget was just $300. With our festival,
How many students does that serve, approximately?
I think close to 200.
Oh.
I think I'm.
Sure.
That doesn't really even cover the what she needs for paper.
Right.
And then with the festival we had last year, we raised $7,000, so she was given $3,500 to do a lot with.
Fantastic.
And she's just a great teacher, and she has all these great ideas, and is really being able to use that money to do things that she wasn't able to do beforehand.
That's wonderful. And what about the other part of that music, or the money? How are musicians helped, the young musicians in the school?
We was able to purchase a clavinova for the school. The school is 3 stories, and it moves around quite a bit. The music class was, and so a big piano was kind of cumbersome and hard, and there's not an elevator. So the teacher was like, I'd really like to have a new clavinova. So we was able to work with one of our main sponsors, Samuel Music, to help get a good deal on a clavinova, and then all the money we raised and bought him a new clavinova, and it's really great. So.
Fantastic. But this, everything that you're doing definitely benefits the kids, but it really benefits the entire community just because of this festival alone. Tell us a little bit about what can we expect to see at the festival, and tell us when it is.
The festival this year is April 25th. It's at Feitchen's Academy, which is 1101 South 15th Street. We're going to have 3 stages of music. We have 21 bands, and also have a silent art auction. We have paintings and drawings and jewelry from all over the country. A lot of local artists, but then some from Seattle, Brooklyn, in different areas are sending things to us to help donate and want to get involved in what we're doing.
Wow, that's amazing. And what's the time span on the 25th? It's one day.
It's one day. It's 11 o'clock is when the opening is. Our opening ceremony is 11:15, and then the bands start playing at 12, and they end 7, maybe a little after 7.
All right, so great afternoon, and I know the weather will be fantastic. So.
Yes, yes. And if it's not, the nice thing about Fights is they have a big auditorium, a big gymnasium, and so it'll be a real ease to take it inside.
Sure.
But last year was just an amazing, amazing day that we had. The perfect weather, and
That's
so
fantastic.
I think we're going to have the same because my oldest son Elijah, his birthday is just a week before.
Oh, okay.
And that's kind of how we thought about it. Well, a week before his birthday, it's always nice. It always rains on his birthday weekend. And so that's kind of how one of the reasons we put it there, because we just knew it always was a nice weekend usually.
Fantastic. Well, thanks to Elijah. That's
Yes.
wonderful. So this is the poster here that we can be looking for around town.
Yes.
That will give some more information about this. And I know that there's other ways that we can get some information. Where can we find out more about this particular event and your mission?
We have a MySpace account, which is it's myspace.com/therevolutionsu.
Okay.
And then our email address is therevolutionsu@comcast.net.
Wonderful, and that'll give more
give
information
more
on how to get here and what's
Right.
going on. But this is probably not the only thing that happens throughout the year. If other people wanted to get involved or help support your cause, are there ways to do that?
There are. They can contact us if they want to be volunteers to work at the festival, or if they want to, if a business was interested in doing something with us. We have a big hope and a big goal that in the future have a music and art academy, have after-school arts and music programs and summer programs for kind of go on a sliding scale for all levels of income.
Sure.
And then even something that adults could get into, and volunteer and work at, and also even learn to paint or to play guitar, piano.
Now, in your planning for this particular organization and what you're trying to accomplish, what have you found out about the role of the arts in the development of children, or in their, how well they do in school, or whether or not they stay in school?
Right. Well, both of our sons, Elijah and Lathan, go to a music factory in town. At a young age, they started going at about 6 months, and through going to there, they give us a lot of information and brochures, and we also just see it with the kids, just in the interaction. But they say, because they're involved in music and arts, do better all through school. Somehow it processes in their brain and helps the function. I don't know exactly how that works, but they do better in math and English and some of those important things that, and whenever they're taken out of the schools, like it is so much with the economy and the way it is and making cuts,
Sure.
they're missing out on that. So a big hope for this is putting that extra money in there and help those kids and the parents and the community to see how important that is for kids, that you need to keep these programs and not take them away.
Right. Something we've found is that it's not even just a matter of money. That's certainly a huge component of this, but also of time, as they're struggling to meet the goals that have been set forth for the schools in No Child Left Behind. There's less and less time to do some of what's traditionally considered extracurricular, but every research study that we've ever seen says is not extracurricular. This type of stuff is just needed on a regular basis, and it does help with problem-solving skills and teamwork, those critical skills that you need to get through life, let alone school, and things you'll use forever. So it's a tough role, I think, right now, and it's so amazing to have a group like yours step up and say, okay, we see a need, and this is what we're going to do to fill that need. It's you can complain and complain, but someone has to step up and do something, and you've certainly done that.
Thank you.
Are there specific needs right now? If you say, we really need this for Feitschen's Academy this year.
Well, they're looking at buying, with the money that we're raising, they're looking at buying some software in the music class for the choir, so they can play piano and it'll go into their computers. And they have a very new program there of 3rd grade. They're starting band, and one of the programs that we do is we collect musical instruments. We have 3 drop-off locations: Suns Up Coffee Cafe, Samuel Music, and Yanni's Euros.
Okay.
Have all volunteered to be instrument drop-off locations. And we kind of like them to be in somewhat working order. If there needs to be a little repair, we understand, and that's also what we help cover with the festival. The band's going to start at 3rd grade, so they need lots of instruments, and it was 5th grade, and now it's third grade, so that's
Wow.
something they definitely can use. And then with the money that we raise, also they'll be able to purchase instruments. So
Then, just fantastic. Now, give us the date of the festival one more time and your information on MySpace.
it's April 25th at Fichens Academy from 11 in the morning to 7 at night. And our email address is therevolutionsu@comcast.net, and the MySpace is myspace.com/therevolutionsu.
Fantastic. You know, even if you don't have children in school, this is an excellent thing to be involved in. Even if you just want to go out and hear some great music and see some great art, I would certainly encourage participation. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be back in just a little bit with the Sangamon Valley Youth Symphony.